product universe here. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick just revealed that Donald Trump is fighting for America with the use of tariffs.
So the Canadian electricity tariffs on the U.S. are off.
Off.
How did that happen?
Well, the president woke up this morning and he saw it and he just jumped right on it. He sent out a couple of tweets this morning and truths that made it crystal clear that you can't have a Canadian premier sort of effectively tacking on a 25% tax on Americans' energy, a couple of states. And he made it crystal clear this is coming off today. He called me first thing this morning and said, Howard, this had better come off. And I spoke to Doug Ford, the premier, and I'm happy to tell you it is off.
So Americans will not be paying more for electricity if they live in Michigan, New York, and Minnesota?
Gone.
Wasn't the premier just reacting to tariffs that the U.S. imposed on Canada?
But remember, the tariffs were about fentanyl, deaths in America. I mean, the president is not going to allow Americans, about 75,000 autopsy deaths in America. And imagine how many are not autopsied. God forbid you lose your child. What makes you think you're definitely going to autopsy them to determine why they died? So the president is on it. He said it's got to end. And I love the fact that the Canadians say, oh, it's not us. 75% of terrorists that we've captured have come through Canada, right? And fentanyl, just because they've only captured 43 pounds, come on. We know way more than that is coming.
So just so I understand, is the president still going to go through with his new threat to bump tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum up to 50% in the morning?
No, that's off too. So we're at 25% steel and aluminum because that's where we were. Remember, so I'd say there's three buckets to think about. There's things that are necessary for America and its safety. That would be steel and aluminum. We've got to have a steel and aluminum industry here in America to protect us for national security, right? You can't be at a war and not make steel. You can't have some other country supply your steel if, God forbid, you need it for a war. Autos. We need to have auto manufacturing here in America. It's very important to us. Pharmaceuticals, semiconductors. These are vital things for America, and he is focused on them. Then that's number one. Then we have reciprocal tariffs. That's number two, which says let's create fairness in the world. Since 1945, we have been exporting the power of our economy to everyone in the world. They have high tariffs and we have low tariffs. And having a little fairness would seem reasonable. So that starts April 2nd. We're going to start having reciprocal tariffs, fairness. Right? And then we're going to do bilateral trading deals with each of the countries who want to work with us. And let's see if we can't make it better. Unleash our farmers, unleash our ranchers. You won't believe the nonsense that I've had to read. India, the prime minister comes and visits, brags about his 1.4 billion people, won't let us sell a bushel of corn. And think of the stuff they sell here. You got to be kidding.
But when it comes to the Canadian situation, what is really being accomplished with all of these 1 or 2 day tariffs that end up getting yanked?
Well, when you're negotiating with someone and they're not paying attention and they're disagreeing, the president, who's the best deal maker ever to sit in that chair, is going to say, here's my response. And then all of a sudden, shockingly, they respond. So that's what he has to do. He has to do what he thinks is important to get the right deal for America. You've got the right person sitting in that chair, making the right moves, and each and every move he's made has resulted in what? The reasonable outcome that you would expect. Look, people are used to this negotiating nonsense about governments. Say a lot, do nothing. With Donald Trump, you do nothing, you get punched.
Is it worth it even if it rattles the markets day after day?
The markets are going to learn. Let the deal maker make his deals. Let the best negotiator and the best person who cares about America, let him make the deals. And if he thinks he's got to threaten someone today, like Colombia, right? Remember he threatened Colombia, they wouldn't take people in. He just needs to say, listen, we're America. Stop this nonsense. And within a short period of time, I think people will realize it doesn't pay to do it this way. Let's just do it the grown-up way. When the biggest economy in the world says, I don't like the way you're treating us, how about a little respect? How about a little dignity? How about the way Mexico is dealing with it? They're dealing with it elegantly and with a proper set of discussions, not responding, saying, let's work it out together.
As Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, just revealed, Donald Trump is fighting for America and standing up to the foreign countries who are taking advantage of us economically with their own tariffs. So it is only fair that we place tariffs on them because they are tariffing us. We want fairness, and our own tariffs will be used to make foreign goods more expensive so that American goods will be cheaper. Thus, people will buy the cheaper American goods, and American goods, American companies, and American workers will be handsomely rewarded. As well, another use of the tariffs explained by Mr. Lutnick is to make deals, as Donald Trump is one of the greatest deal makers of all time. The author of The Art of the Deal, the 45th and 47th president, knows how to negotiate, as he is arguably the greatest deal maker to ever sit in the Oval Office. So he is using the threat of tariffs and the actual implementation of tariffs to make money for American companies and to hold those who are taking advantage of us accountable and to make new trade deals. What Howard Lutnick was saying is totally true. It is so great that we have a leader in the White House who is willing to stand up for America with these great and beautiful tariffs. Tariffs which have already brought numerous companies back to the United States and have created new investments in the United States, such as Apple, Taiwan Semiconductor, OpenAI, and Oracle's Project Stargate, to name a few. America keeps winning from these tariffs, and the amount of new jobs created from them will be staggering. Donald Trump is creating fairness and respect that is beautiful to see. It is also beautiful to see that Donald Trump and his Commerce Secretary can stop foreign countries from taking advantage of the United States with just a simple phone call. This is what we needed all along. And over the 4 years of the Trump presidency, the fruits of the tariffs will be abundant. As mark my words, the stock market will take off and the economy will be great. The best we've ever seen. That's just my 2 cents, and you're entitled to your 2 cents. If you want, share your opinion in the comments below, as all viewpoints are welcome. If you enjoyed this informational and educational video, then give the video a like and turn on my channel notifications so that you'll be notified the next time I release a new video. Thanks for watching. God bless you, and God bless America.